Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, March 8th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. It is a beautiful Sunday morning right now. I don't see a cloud in the sky looking out of my window, and the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and it is a beautiful Sunday morning. And if you know racing, you know that means it's time for Formula One. I am so excited. Just full disclosure, this race is over because Australia is many, many, many hours ahead. Um, I think like 14 or something like that. So technically, Sunday morning in Australia was last night for us here on the west coast of the USA. But I have not watched the race yet because I wanted it to feel like an F1 Sunday. Normally, I just record the races. That's unless it's happening in the U.S. or Canada or Mexico or Brazil. Um, if it's happening in North or South America, I'll watch it live. But a lot of times it's too early in the morning, and it would have been last night, which would have been crazy. So we have so much to talk about today, but we're going to start with F1. I mentioned it earlier this week that F1 was coming back this week. And here we are on Sunday, and F1 is back. I did watch the qualifying from Australia. I'll just mention this. Formula One kicks off with the Australian Grand Prix from Melbourne, and it is the start to a new season, new rule changes. We're going to have to talk about those, what they mean for the sport. But most of all, I'm just so happy that F1 is back and I get to watch racing again, the pinnacle of motorsport. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a very fun year, a very close year. I can't wait for it. Um, the race is in Australia. It's round one, race one, and I am quite excited for it. The big story from the off season of Formula One were the new rules and regulations on the cars and all the problems that came with them. And there are a lot of problems. The drivers themselves have been very vocal about their displeasure with the new rules and the cars. And as a kind of I don't want to say casual fan, like I watch every race. I don't know, but at the same time, I don't know the most about the mechanics and the engineering of these incredible racecraft. But going off of what the drivers say, and I would trust them because they're the ones who are actually driving the car, they hate it. And I'm not sure what the rule changes are exactly. The cars have been modified heavily from last year in order to I think the big thing is the energy system of the car and how it's being used. And the battery charging and recharging is especially coming up as a problem where drivers have to slow down heavily on the straights to recharge their battery packs. And that's been a part of Formula One for the good number of years, but there's a heavy emphasis on it now, and the cars are just slower and compared to last year where we were seeing the McLarens run circles around everybody with their dominant car. This has brought the field closer together, but in doing that, it also brought the level of racing down where it's not as fast, it's not as, skill driven. The product might not be as good this year as it has been in recent years. But that being said, I'm still optimistic. I'm still positive how the season's going to go. And if it doesn't go well, then we might be seeing some rule changes coming in the future, that's for sure. But aside from that, I'm just really excited that F1 is back. I'm not going to look, I don't have the qualifying results in front of me because if I look up Australian Grand Prix, it's going to show me the result. I don't want to see that. But I know that George Russell is starting on pole. I know that Kimi Antonelli is going to be starting next to him. Those are the two Mercedes drivers. And in the preseason, the teams were sandbagging all of them at the top were they weren't going to show their true pace, but the idea was that Mercedes was probably the top of the pack, and then Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren, the big four, if you will, they were right behind them. But now we had our first qualifying session. We're seeing the gap from Mercedes to the rest of the field is actually a lot bigger than we previously thought. They were dominant, of almost a full second between the pole sitter George Russell and the third car, which I think is Charles Leclerc. Or no, it's Isaac Hadjar. Isaac Hadjar, he's going to be making his Red Bull debut. He was with Racing Bulls last year. And then there is one rookie on the field, Arvin Lindblad. He's going to be at Racing Bulls with Liam Lawson. Both RBs made it to P3 or Q3, which is good for them. And the defending champ, Lando Norris, he's gonna be starting like sixth, fifth or sixth on the grid. The Ferraris ahead of them, and him and Piastri ahead of them. It's gonna be a whole bunch of adapting and stuff. It's to see like it's not gonna look the same as it was last year, at least for the beginning, because they're still trying to figure out these cars. It is important to note Max Verstappen crashed in Q1. He's going to be starting in 20th. And then the other big story of the offseason, the new team, the 11th team on the grid, Cadillac, with Sergio Perez and Valerie Bottas, they are going to be the 21 and 22 drivers on this grid for the F1 season. So that's pretty cool. And most of all, I'm really excited to get this season underway. I missed F1. I'm so happy it's back and I'm ready to watch some racing. But with that being said, we have so much more to talk about. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Where should we start first? I want to talk about um let's talk about baseball first. We got a lot of baseball to talk about, considering the Giants played 2 games yesterday. Um but holy moly, when did that happen? We'll talk about the USA first. Okay, so Team USA beat Great Britain 9-1 yesterday. And although that sounds pretty lopsided, for the better part of the game, Great Britain was actually ahead. The game started with a leadoff home run from Nate Eaton off Tarek Skubal, and we know the whole deal about Tarek Skubal. He only went 3 innings yesterday, 1 earned run on 2 hits, no walks, struck out 5, only threw 41 pitches. So, you know, this is the best pitcher in baseball, and it looks like that he made his one start. People are pretty unhappy with him for this. They're saying that, you know, he's doing a disservice to the team by just pitching 1 game. He could have opened up a roster spot for somebody else. But hey, I'm just happy he made one start. Hopefully, the Tigers will let him do another one because he's such a great pitcher. We really could use him for the later rounds. Um, but I do understand that he's about to get paid probably the biggest contract ever for a pitcher, and he does want to be healthy. But with that being said, I mean he's going to pitch in spring training anyway, right? So, I mean, yeah, it is unfortunate, but Nate Eaton, by the way, the Great Britain, they went 3 for 29 in this game, and Nate Eaton went 3 for 4. He had all the hits for Great Britain. The only run of the game was his home run. He uh he was very good, and this unfortunately the same can't be said for anybody else on the team except for some of the pitchers. But it was 1-0 for a long time till the fifth inning when U.S. broke it open and Air led to a wild pitch, and then Kyle Schwarber hit a shore bomb, 427-foot blast. And then the United States kept adding it on in the fifth and the sixth, and a little bit in the seventh. So they scored 5 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, and that was all the runs they need to win this game 9-1. The winning pitcher, Clay Holmes, who was excellent. 3 innings pitched, just the 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. Only took him 38 pitches to get those 9 outs. Tarek Skubal, obviously the starter. No save opportunity for the United States, but Keller, Jackson, Bednar all pitched in this one, and they were all excellent. Each one of them, 1 inning pitched, no base runners, 2 strikeouts. That's kind of funny. Um, those are all really good pitchers, really good relievers, by the way. The winning pitcher, or the losing pitcher, rather, for Great Britain was Andre Scrub from the Astros. He gave up the home run. The starting pitcher was Tyler Visa, who was pretty good. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, and nothing else. And then I also want to mention this guy, Niger Victor. Maybe it's Nager. Victor, whatever. He was really good. He gave up the he didn't give up the run, but he gave up he gave up a run, but it wasn't an earned run. It wasn't his fault that the run came in. He went 1 1/3, struck out 4, and walked 1. He was actually really good. And when he got pulled, that's when the Great Britain bullpen imploded, and they kind of sucked from there. But a nice win for the USA. Always good to see Schwarber hit a bomb. And then let's take a look at some other scores from around the league, from around the WBC. Korea They lost to Japan earlier in the day. We talked about that yesterday, and they also played again yesterday because of the time zone, and they actually lost to Taipei. So Korea now they are 1-2, and in danger of missing out because they are Taipei's done. So they went 2-2. They lost to Japan and Australia, and they beat Korea and Taipei. So I actually think Korea might be eliminated because of the tiebreaker against. Yeah, I think they might. I think Korea might be eliminated by Taipei. This game went to extra innings. Um, Dane Dunning, he blew the save. Hyunjin Ryu made it a start for Korea. He is old, man. Good for him that he's still pitching. Go got the loss. Chang got the win, and Sang got the save. Um, yeah, pretty crazy that Taipei knocked out Korea. That's the thing. I believe it's the second time that happened in the last two WBCs. Venezuela beat Israel 11-3. Arias had a great game. He went 4 for 5 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that is such a good sign to see as a Giants fan. 4 extra base hits and 5 at-bats, 12 total bases, 5 RBIs. Monster performance from Luis Arias. And as a Giants fan, that's what I want to see. I want to see him just be incredible. And he was very, very good yesterday. Harrison Bader was also good for Israel. He's also a Giant. He went 1 for 4 with a home run. So that's pretty good. The Giants are doing well. Puerto Rico beat Panama. They walked him off with a home run from Hernandez. The win went to Espada. The loss went to Gonzalez. Elliot Ramos, he was 0 for 4 in this game. Oh well. It's not whatever. Italy beat Brazil 8-0. I'm pretty high on Italy. I think they can beat Mexico. The winning pitcher was Jacob. Losing pitcher Villarroel. Dominic Canzone 2 for 4 in this game. He had 4 RBIs and a home run. And then moving on to the Netherlands and Nicaragua. Ozzy Albies hit a walk-off 3-run bomb off of Obando to win it for the Netherlands. The winning pitcher in this game was Huier, something like that. Please forget the pronunciation. The losing pitcher was Obando. And then Canada beat Colombia 8-2 in Canada's first game. Michael Soroka got the win. His changeup was moving well. I was watching that game. He looked great. 3 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits, and then Bergner, whatever. He got the loss for Colombia. And today we have a couple of games going on. A couple of games already done. Japan beat Australia 4-3. What did Otani do? 0 for 3 with 2 walks. Masataka Yoshida had a home run though. That's his second of the tournament. Winning pitcher was Samita for Japan. Oda got the save. And the losing pitcher was Kennedy for Australia. So Australia is eliminated. And I believe Japan, with these 3 wins, clinches the pool. All they have to do is just beat Czech. They don't even have to beat Czech, and they can still advance. Not as many games going on today, but we got a couple going on right now. We got the Dominican Republic and the Netherlands. We got Severino on the mound for DR. We got Cuba and Colombia. That one's going on. We got Great Britain, Italy coming up soon. We have Nicaragua and Israel, Panama, Canada, and Brazil and Mexico. Those are the other games. We also have spring training to talk about. The Giants yesterday. 2 games, split squad. The first one was with the starters. Carson Whisenhunt got the ball. He went 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, that's it, and 5 strikeouts in the win for the Giants, 7-5 over the Rangers. I like that a lot from Carson Whisenhunt. His first 2 games in the spring training for the Giants, terrible. 5 earned runs in 1 inning the first time, 4 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 the second time, and he got 5 strikeouts and no runs in 3 innings pitched in this last game from yesterday. That is such a good sign to see a young pitcher struggle heavily and then come back and rebound with a phenomenal game against pretty much all of the starters for the Rangers. That's a great sign for Wizenhunt. Great to see that he's striking batters out and that he has not let those two horrible starts get to him, and he is moving forward with with his life. He's starting to pitch great. Winning pitcher David or not David Bednar, Will Bednar, his brother, and then R.J. Dabovich got the save. He was pitching for Team USA, so I remember that. Who hit a bomb? Anyone hit a bomb today? Nobody hit a bomb. That's okay. Matt Gage, one inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 runs, and a strikeout, gave up a home run. Ryan Walker, inning pitch and a strikeout. Love to see that from potentially the closer for the Giants. Bivens, one inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, no runs. A losing pitcher was Brand for Texas. The Giants had a couple of clutch. Actually, that was the other game. Apologies. Um, yeah, good game for the Giants. The other game. Oh, wait, no, this is. Oh yeah, this was actually. I apologize. In this game, the 7-5 game, the Giants managed to come back late. Mark Canha hit a home run for the Rangers to make it 5-4 in the seventh, and then the Giants scored some runs in the eighth inning to take the lead, to tie it and take the lead. So that's good. And the other game for the Giants, let's catch our breath here. Brubaker got the start in a 7-4 win for the Giants. 3 innings pitched, a hit, a run, 2 walks, a home run, and a strikeout. Not bad, not bad. Losing pitcher was Drake. He just flipped the switch. Flip. No, nobody else is doing this. Giants won this game 7-4 against the Diamondbacks. What else do we got? We got basketball still to talk about, hockey still to talk about, and we're 17 minutes in, so this might be a long one. We're going to start with basketball, and I'm just going to say this about the Warriors. I'm very proud of this team for trying, okay? Because the results haven't been great necessarily, but whatever it is, man, when the good teams you have to face down, the Warriors just play well, and we don't even have Steph Curry. If you look at who's out, just for reference, both Currys, Moody, Melton, and Richard. Porzingis played yesterday, which was good. He wasn't the greatest, but he was +6 in his 23 minutes. But the Warriors played the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champs, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. Actually, Chet did not play. But they faced the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champions, and they took them to the brink, and they almost beat them. 104-97 was the final score from OKC last night. And this is the thing about the Warriors, man. I just want to say they try really hard. I was talking about this with Ashton and another guy who from the gym that I go to. Ashton works at the gym, and that's the gym that I've been going to for my whole life, pretty much. I was at the kids area, but there's this one guy there who I honestly, I don't know his name, but I'm pretty chill with him. We talk about the Warriors sometimes. He's a nice guy. Um, I genuinely don't know his name. That's pretty funny how I know how much he benches. I know his thoughts on the Warriors, but I don't know his name. But we were talking yesterday, and I think he brought this up. But the Warriors are just a whole bunch of dudes who try really hard. They're not the best, but they try really hard. And that's a great point by him because that's the truth, man. A whole bunch of these players for us yesterday were our G League guys who were started the season down in Santa Cruz, and now they're up with the big team, and they're actually putting in valuable minutes. You look at Guy Santos playing 37 minutes, getting 22 points on 11 boards. You look at Pat Spencer going 25 minutes and 9 points. You look at Leon's, Cryer, Nate Williams, just a whole bunch of guys who maybe aren't the best players in the league, but they give you effort night in and night out. And that's kind of what we need for the Warriors because we don't have Steph. We don't have stars. Jimmy's out for the year. Steph's out for probably another week or so. And we don't have those kind of skilled players, but we have guys who just try really hard and put in effort to win games. And that's what the Warriors need to do every game. They just need to out hustle the other team. They just need to have more energy than the opponent. And that's what the Warriors need to do. That has to be their calling card if they're going to have success this year. That's the truth, man. The Warriors need to do this. They need to try hard. So there you go for the Warriors. 104-97 final score. SGA had, let's count the free throws, 15 free throws. He made 14 of them. How many did the Warriors have? 18. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 3 less free throws than the entire Warriors team. The Thunder, by the way, 23 for 24 on free throws, only missed 1. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it, but you can piece together the dots. A couple of good games. We have some really good games going on actually for basketball. We have the Celtics and the Cavaliers going on right now. That's, I believe, 2 and 4 in the Eastern Conference. Those are some really good teams going at it. And Jason Tatum is back, so that's good. We got the Knicks and the Lakers, also nationally televised. We have the Pistons and the Heat going on. We have the Rockets and the Spurs going on. Those are 2 Texas teams that don't like each other very much. And surprise contender, the Hornets, who have won. Okay, well, they lost 1, but I believe they had won 5. They won 6 in a row before their loss to the Heat last night, or 2 nights ago. Yeah, and they're going up against the Suns. So we have the Celtics, the Celtics and the Cavaliers, the Knicks and the Lakers, the Heat and the Pistons, the Rockets and the Spurs, and surprise contender Hornets and the Suns. Those are really good games today. So if you're going to watch some basketball, go ahead and do that. We also have a ton of good hockey games today. The Wild and the Avalanche, the Bruins and the Penguins, the Red Wings and the Devils, the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Those are games that mean a ton for the standings, especially the Wild and the Avalanche. I believe that's 1 and 2. Or no, that's actually 1 and 3. But that's pretty good games going on for hockey. And speaking of hockey, we're gonna talk about the Sharks game from last night. Last night, the Sharks did lose to the New York Islanders by a score of 2-1 in overtime. And there are many places we can start with this game. We have much to talk about. Where should we start? I guess it's important to note that although the Sharks did lose this game, we did gain a point. It's also important to note that the Kraken lost. It's important to note that the Kings lost. It's important to note that the Predators lost. It's also important to note that the Mammoth won. So let's just look at the standings quick because the Sharks did lose, but they lost in overtime. So they gained a point. And that's you'd rather have 2 points, but you take 1 point. That's only 1 point less than 2. That's quick math right there. So looking at the standings, you have the Kraken, who lost, still at 67 points for the last 2 games. You have the San Jose Sharks at 66 points, only 1 point back of Seattle. And we are here on March 8th. And I remember talking about this back in November, saying the Sharks are in a playoff spot, but we have a long way to go. We shouldn't talk about this too much. But now we're here in March, and the Sharks are still in contention for the playoffs, 1 point out of the final wild card spot in the West. And it's March 8th. The Sharks have a legit shot to make the playoffs this year. Like 2 to 3 years ahead of schedule in our rebuild, have a shot to make the playoffs. This is super exciting. If we had won the past 2 games in overtime, we would have been in the playoff spot already, but you can't play that game. You got to be appreciative for the points that we got, the 2 points that we got from the last 2 back-to-back games. It could have been 0 points. At least we got some. And it could have been 1, 2. At least we got 2. So, even though we are technically 3-7 in our last 10 games, we did get points in a couple of those losses, and the 3 wins were recent. So, I'm actually very happy that we got points, and I'm happy that where we're at right now. We are 3 points up on the Kings, and 3 points up as well on the Predators, and 4 We're actually 2 points up on the Kings, 2 points up on the Predators, and four up on the Jets, and one back of the Kraken. We're also two back of the Oilers, who played tonight, and six back of the Golden Knights, seven back of the Ducks. That's just the Pacific. You also take a look at the Mammoth. We are also 6 points back of the Mammoth. So playing tonight, the Oilers and the Golden Knights, we're going to gain points on at least, well, if it finishes in regulation, we're going to gain points on at least one of those teams. And the Ducks also play against the Blues. That's that. But hold on, let's just go back to the Sharks game because I do want to talk about this. And I'm just going to say my controversial statement right now, off rip. The refs sucked in this game last night. The Islanders were blatantly targeting Celebrini. There were some questionable calls made against the Sharks late in the game. And really, if you take a look at how the refs officiated this game, it's amazing that we were able to get we were even fool. If you take a look at the way the refs officiated this game, it's amazing that the Sharks even got to overtime. We should have won this game, and yet the Islanders won it in overtime. I'm not gonna say it was all because of the refs, but it was mostly because of the refs. Okay, because yeah, there were some bad calls against us, and it's not even like coping, not even whining. It is a little whining, but the truth is the Sharks easily could have won this game if the refs hadn't gotten involved and lost control of the game. What do you want me to say? Askarov, though. Let's talk about Askarov because, Askey, got to give him his flowers on this one. He was very good. 32 saves on 34 shots. Did let up the game winner, but it was a breakaway. What are you going to do there? Only two shots on the power play for the Islanders, even though they had three opportunities. Only got two shots off. So, um, Askey was very good yesterday. Unfortunately, we couldn't get many goals to help him out, but Sorokin was also very good, 30 for 31. Um, Macklin Celebrini scored again. He's just that good, okay? He's just that good. This guy is a dog. Will Smith assisted that goal, and so did Klingberg. Klingberg, man, I don't like him very much. I'm not gonna lie. Usually I like everybody, but I just have a weird feeling about him. Um, Horvat, he scored the game winner. Uh, and Schaefer had an assist. Schaefer looks like a dog. We should have Schaefer, but I'm happy we have Misa. Um, yeah, it was a dirty win for the Islanders. Uh, 34 shots, the Islanders for 31 for the Sharks. In overtime, the Sharks really controlled the puck. They had a power play coming in overtime, and there wasn't a whistle for like 4 minutes. So it was just 4-on-4 overtime, which is nice to see a little bit extra, play out there. But the Sharks had so many shots in overtime. Like a ridiculous amount. We had most of the momentum, and unfortunately, the Islanders didn't win the game. So there's that. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? At least we got a point, and I'm still mad at the refs. Oh boy. So I think that's it. Unless anything happened in the National Football League, which it doesn't look like anything happened. We have like I mentioned, some fantastic games going on today. Uh, the Giants, I don't think I mentioned that the Giants play because do they? They do against the Cubs. Starting pitcher, Landon Roop. I can't wait to see what Landon Roop does today because I am just so high on him. I think he's going to be so good this year. I mean, if he continues the way he was pitching last summer, and he, improves on that, oh, look out, league, because Landon Roop's coming. Landon Roop's going to make the All Star team this year. That's my pick. Um, I need to end this. I'm so crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. 30 minutes ago, I was talking about Formula One. Now it's time to actually go watch Formula One. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode, and I'll see you tomorrow.